Why, hello, friends. It's Peter Paul Van Camp talking. Oh, let me just clamber atop this chair. That's better, in order to complete the picture. Why, I have just recently celebrated my 48th anniversary in the show game. I find myself in reasonably good health at the age of 60 and 7. Temperature normal, pulse regular, blood pressure steady, appetite strong. Now, in order to complete the celebration of the observance of my near banner year, I thought that I would just harken back a little bit upon some of the aspects of that initial reading, which was given on November the 23rd in 1972 at the McGill Student Union cafeteria. That's McGill University in Montreal. And as I recall, I walked into the place. I had a small sheaf of recently composed works on my person. I clambered atop a chair, as I've just done, and gave out with this clarion call. I said, "There is going to be a reading of poetry." And then I commenced what is now a 48-year career and still going strong. I thought I may as well read a couple of the pieces that I probably read on that day. I was featuring in those years. I was giving into a fondness for small rodents, and I had a series called my Nutcracker Suite. I know. And these were about the squirrels and chipmunks, which I was seeing in the streets and parks of Montreal, just having arrived there a few months prior from my home in Ohio. And so I think I'll commence this revisit to the old days with one which I called Scene in a Clearing. Chipper, cheery chipmunk, standing on a stump, stock as a lump, still as a bump. Cautious little chipmunk, poised on a stump, muscles all ready, primed like a pump. Wary young chipmunk, eyeing a clump of trees, a false move and he'll jump. Worldly wise chipmunk, he's no chump, knowing how it is to be seen on a stump. I was 19 years of age. As I recall the day, it was coolish. I believe it was about 35 degrees in Fahrenheit, as we called it then, and there had been a light dusting of snow a day or two previous. Nothing to get too upset about. I had left my rooming house on Prince Arthur Street. Now I could tell you the whole story, or we could have a good old chinwag on the phone. Call me up, I'm in the book. But briefly, I left Prince Arthur Street, walked down University Avenue and towards Milton, and then in through past the engineering building there and across the campus, past Moyse Hall, over to McTavish Street and the Student Union. And so to continue. This one was called My Whim. My whim. How well I love to just pretend, as my way through a park I wend, that every squirrel in every tree was my own pet, whom I'd set free. Egad, I must be excused this. 'Tis folly, yes, but two is bliss, and I shan't care just who does know. I'm fond of squirrels, ever so. I'm apt to play it make-believe that each would clamber up my sleeve as soon as dance from branch to limb. I may be odd, such is my whim. All the poems were fairly short in those days. I hadn't the confidence to go on at any length. I thought if I could read 2 or 3 short pieces and then get off, I'd probably be better served. The audience as well. I've given into temptation and gone on I've tested the endurance, let's say, in times since. but I hope I've learned how to do so effectively. I have one more to read for you, but gosh, to think, 48 years. Anyway, this last one was written actually not by myself, but by my younger brother, Ralph Van Camp. He's mechanically inclined, and he always had a well-stocked tool room, a workbench. He kept everything cleaned and oiled and hung up just so. Very meticulous in his way, and a fine craftsman. One day, though, he'd left his. It was the spring of the year, and the poplar seeds were coming down from the trees, the poplar trees, in fact. And well, I think what he wrote here rather effectively tells not only what happened, but how he felt about it. He called it "No Screens Up." This is by Ralph Van Camp. The poplar seeds are on my tools. My room is full of flies. It's because I left my windows open. Get out of here, you guys! Ralph Van Camp. And I'm his older brother, Peter Paul Van Camp. And gosh, this has been grand. Let's talk about it. As I say, call me up, and we'll spell out the whole thing. But in the meantime, while I await your friendly call, I'll just somehow get myself down from this chair, and we'll speak anon. Peter Paul Van Camp here. Look out. It's okay, I made it down.